Hello, my name's Mike Deacon. I'm a local councillor from Felixstowe. Last year I was the mayor of the town, and at the 30th anniversary of the sinking of the European Gateway, I was asked by Radio Suffolk and the East Anglian Daily Times why there was no memorial to mark the event and to those that were killed in the tragic accident. And I said I would endeavour to see if we could provide one, which is what we've done. And today, a year later to the date, we have dedicated a memorial to those that lost their lives in that very tragic accident.
We think of their families who have grieved and lived without their physical presence for all these years. Lives lived with the sorrow of tragic loss, leaving a pain that time may ease but never fully remove.
But by the time I'd got out of bed, the ship was over at an angle. So I had to walk uphill to get out the door and then walk along the corridor at an angle. When we got out, I went out to the right because the water was already coming in the other side. And my colleague went down into the water, and I thought, no, why am I going into the water? So I went out the other side and kept climbing up until eventually the ship come right over. And it was lying on its side, and I was just running about on the side of the ship. And I could look down and see people dawdling about in the water. And when I was rescued from the other side by the pilot boat, when they went to drop me off, I said, well, you boys, there's only two of you on here. I'll stay on board and operate your searchlight for you, which was what I'd done. And eventually, after going round the boat looking for people, survivors or whatever, we went back to that dinghy because somebody said there was somebody in it. And I cut the strap off because it was still attached to the top of the ship, and as the ship rolled, it dragged the dinghy up and tipped it over. So everybody who was in it was tipped out, apart from Tony Mason, and he was still in it. And when we cut free, he then floated out. And we dragged him up onto the back of his pilot boat. And I don't know if it was the RNLI came across to us, and they jumped on and they jumped on top of him and pumped his chest and gave him mouth to mouth, but he'd gone.
My memories of that night are of being in total darkness and being trapped inside the ship. If it wasn't for one of the engineers, one of the ABs, I don't think I'd have been standing here now, because he died.